Stan. Here we are in the man cave, full of man flu. Right, okay, let's move that out of the way. Trying to do a professional video today. No pissing around. No screwing about, as the Americans might say. Serious video. Anyway, the sort of standard British Army Binoculars, prismatic, Mark II, number 2, graticules. You got your thing there, graticules. I can never work out actually what it means. Graticules, so many degrees, high, etc, etc. Basically, it is something, the formula is something along the lines of, if you look at the distance and you see something like a known object, maybe a soldier, you know he's going to be roughly average, 5'7", 5'5", 5'6", you can gauge by using the graticule marks. I believe that's how it works. Someone may correct me. That's why I don't have them on naval binoculars, because there's nothing to gauge them by, if you get me. So it's a bit of a, I'm not going to go through the whole history of the various types of these, but you know, these are the sort of binoculars you see all the time coming up on eBay. Now, I paid 15 quid for these, and as you all know, I like binoculars. As you all know, I do try and restore them, not restore, get them working again, and I have certainly stuffed a few pairs up in my time before I got to the point where I was sort of alright at doing it. I reckon if a complete novice who doesn't even know how to operate a pair of binoculars is number 1 out of 10, and a complete expert who restores them to full working hours 10 out of 10, I'm about a 5 or a 6. I don't mind giving them a go. Something stupid, I did rewatch a little video sent to me by a mate of mine, Andrew Johnston, who's more equipped than I am, and he's definitely got more experience repairing binoculars. And I got two pairs of Rel Canadian naval binoculars, and one pair just I couldn't get the right focusing knob to work, stiff. And I poured some sort of industrial strength, like freeing fluid in the workings, left it overnight, and still wouldn't have it. Anyway, I passed them on to Andrew, see if he could do something with them, and he sent me a video saying, I don't know what I did, I was just trying to wind mix, something clicked, and it might have been the fluid, who knows. But my general rule of thumb, I've got a small tool set of smaller screwdrivers. I've got a rubber ratchet, and if you get oil, you know, the type of thing you get oil filters off, you can pick them up eBay, and they're there to wind the towers out. As a lot of these, you can take them out by hand, but I've got one of them. A hairdryer is a very useful piece of kit, simply because a hairdryer, I'm on cat watch, 2 seconds. A hairdryer, if you've got stiff focusing knobs, a hairdryer will liven the grease up, melt it, so they'll work again. And maybe needle nose pliers, one of those sort of cheap magnifiers with a bit of a light on, go around your head, that wouldn't come amiss. And you know, I just use one of my tissues, clean tissues, and rubber gloves, nitrile gloves. I've took a few apart in my time where there's been fingerprints all over the insides, so that's what I get up to, what I do. 15 quid, got the original strap on, which is always good. The white dots I'll explain in a minute. This one here, I think it's that, see how it's moving a bit, it wouldn't focus, so I was just spinning freely. I whacked the hairdryer on it, and now with a bit of force I can get this to focus. I'm sort of leaving it in the middle so it's focused-ish. I can't see a way of getting into that, and this is to my point. So this side, I managed to get the tower out, and I got the plate off, but I couldn't get the prism out. It was really awkward. Now what I do is, these binoculars, the precision-made instruments, and most of them, someone will have been inside them over the years, and they might have done a good job or a bad job. What I do, if I can get the screws out and I can get into them, I try to take apart as little as possible. And that's simply because the precision instruments, and I'm an idiot. And we'll better take a slight drink of a light refreshment. Sometimes you can do more harm than good. That's proved to me in the past. So cotton buds and a bit of glass cleaner, maybe get your tissue right in there, clean out the lenses as much as you can and the prisms. This side, I couldn't get this off, couldn't get it off, so I just cleaned inside the tower. Same on this one. Bottom ones was a screw missing, but I took that screw off a pair of World War One British binoculars. They're a bit complex for me. They've got 6 screws around here. I thought, well, they can spare one. And I managed on this side, yeah, this side I managed to get the prism out, give it a clean. There's 2 sets of prisms, top and bottom. This side, I don't think I get that one off either. So I just cleaned off. I took the objective lenses off, cleaned them as best I can. I do have a little tool for trying, see these slots, getting them out. I was going to try and have an adjust on that, see if I could get the lenses out themselves. There's a spot on there, but I slipped. Again, I haven't got really high-end tools, don't spend too much money on them, and you can see that's being battered a bit. Now, when I cleaned it all up, cleaned them up as best I could, the graticules were on the tilt, so I had to adjust the tower until they were you know, horizontal, and they were good. They're clean. These are usable. They've got little spots in them. 15 quid, not bad. Problem was they were now discolorated. I couldn't tell whether they were before, but I don't think they were. So this is where the white spots come in. I probably should have done a better job and got a small paintbrush and just put a white mark there, there and there. These these towers, I'll go with these first. They're very fine threaded. Now, I might be talking to the converted, preaching to the converted, but I do have an engineering job, and it's when you're winding these in, you've got to be very careful, because the thread's so fine you can easily cross thread them and bugger them up, basically. Because I've been engineering all my life, I do have a feel for whether they're right or not. Just take it out a little bit, see if you can. It should screw all the way. It should only tighten when it's near the end, not when you can still see threads. Because if that's on the slant like that, you'll never get it collimated in a million years. So what you can do, rather than muck around with the lenses, the prisms, if you look down there, you can see a few spots, I'm sure. Why can I see it there? Oh, there you go. See a few spots, but they're fairly clear. You should see the graticules on that one as well, I think. Can you? No, you can't. Anyway, so there's a way of cheating, and the way you cheat is you turn the objective lens just a touch. Keep looking again, touch again. And I was trying to do one clockwise, one anti-clockwise. Didn't seem to work. I just found one that nearly, and they're near enough lined up now. I don't know what it is. It must be an imperfection in the lens that causes this, but if you just turn them ever so slightly, and that is why I've dotted them, just in case they move. I know that these are collimated at this end with these lenses, if that makes sense. If them 2 dots line up, I know these are true. That's where they should be. I did it with the top ones as well, and that's simply because the lens where it's a bit loose, when you're trying to focus, it might turn the tower. So there you go. That's Salem Stan's advice. Not that I'm an expert, as you know. I'm a half-wit at best. But it is worth trawling the internet. And, you know, these binoculars, they are a worthwhile piece of history for any collector. You should have a pair of these in your collection. I've got a few. I've got probably five pairs of these British ones. Would I ever go on a German pair? Yeah, because I have. Because they only cost me 25 quid, 30 quid. And I cleaned them up. And actually, wow, that is. Wow, we're on cat watch still. We're on cat watch. There's a cat outside. What's it doing? There's 2 cats outside, and they're not doing much. So, it's just a bit of a revisit, this. There's me, Dean's glass. I can't remember the makers on these. It's a code. It's called DDX. Is that Voigtlander? Can't remember. And these were less than 30 quid. And there was the Ordnance tan on there, but it wasn't on the Bakelite cups. It was like a black, and some of it was peeling off. So I took the executive decision to clean them all up, and they've come up really nice, as you can see. And these are quite light compared to the British ones. I did meet someone at a fair a couple of years ago saying all British binoculars are crap from World War II. I wouldn't say that, but they are cheaper than the German ones. So if you're fancying a bit of a binocular fiddle, maybe go with the British ones and just try and take apart what you can. Don't force anything. If you force it, you're going to break it. I mean, I literally am the most cack-handed person going. I mean, you know, in my job, it's, you know, you're talking about spanners, hammers, and, you know, not finesse. I haven't got finesse. I'm not very good at making models, so fiddling around with binoculars I shouldn't be really good at it. I'm not good at it. I should be bad at it, but I'm all right at it. And that's simply because, don't force it. If you can get something out, give it a clean inside if you can. Put it back together. Keep your screws separate on in a little dish or a little bowl, and yeah, you might end up getting a result. And if you're only paying £15–20 for a pair of genuine World War II bits of history that are now usable, so there you go. Forget about, I've said this before, the big ones like these spotting binoculars. You get them in focus. Forget about these. And the reason for that is, as far as I'm aware, the prisms on these are glued into place, and if they're discollimated, I think you probably could do the trick with the objective lenses, but like for me, as far as I'm concerned, they're a next level sort of thing, and I haven't even looked into having a go on them. They're also sometimes being purged with desiccated air. It's a lot more complex. If I were you, anyone who's listening out there, and I was going to get a pair of binoculars like that, sort of navy type, coastal can binoculars, I'd pay for the best pair you could get. But you sort of field glasses, want to buy a pair, take them apart, see what happens. If you bugger them up, just put them on display, as I've done in the past, or give them to someone who knows what they're doing. So this is Stan. I nearly 12 minutes of me nearly talking crap, and I will, of course, see ya.